Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's Weekly Live. I'm Lisa DeToffel, your host, and today we're going to talk about how to adapt a new system or process to your business successfully. Okay, I'm having some tech issues. I hope everyone can see me well. If you can't, please let me know. If you are joining me live, please say hello in the comments and let me know where you're coming in from. If you are watching this later, please do use hashtag replay to let me know that you are watching this later. But for those of you that are joining us for the first time, I'm the founder of Relationship Communications, where I coach, mentor established and aspiring professionals to create and grow their network and businesses. Relationship Communications Weekly Live is a tactical and practical show we do every week at the same time, every Friday morning at 10 a.m. So I hope you'll add that to your calendar and plan to join us every Friday morning. Now, we are sponsored by Tiger Eye Solution. And at Tiger Eye Solution, we work with speakers and coaches and professionals to help them grow their business in the virtual space. So they can enjoy being the CEO and business owner and do what they love to do within their business. And we do this virtually and in our online community. So if you're not already a member of Relationship Communications, head on over to Facebook. It's a free Facebook group to be a part of. We would love to welcome you in there. There's over 500 members already in the group, and you can interact with each other. You can schedule coffee chats with each other and help build your network and build your business. Now, we are streaming on various platforms. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, ring that bell so that you can be notified every time that we do go live, because we do go live a few times a week. So before we dive into our topic today, I do want to introduce myself for those of you that are new and do not know who I am, because we do have new people in the group, and hopefully we'll gain more new people in the group moving forward. So this was me about 5.5 years ago as a preschool teacher. I was a preschool teacher for over 25 years prior to starting my business, Tiger Eye Solution. And I learned so much from working in the classroom with the little children. Not only did I teach them what they needed to know, they also taught me a lot of things as well. And building relationships is one of the skills I learned, because it's important to get to know each individual child in your classroom and the best way that they learn. So you can not just cater to that, but, figure out the best ways that's going to help that child learn what they need to learn, whether it's their letters, their numbers, or how to write their name. They all need to learn that exact thing, but they're not all going to learn it the exact same way. So you have to build that relationship with them. And of course, build a relationship with their family, their parents, because it's not just, the teachers in the classroom helping these children learn. It's also their parents and their family at home helping them learn as well. So lots of different relationships was built during those years that I was a teacher in the classroom. Then also during those 25 years, I was a single mother twice. This is me and my 3 children during one of those times that I was a single mother. So not only was I managing and juggling the relationships I was building in the classroom, I was also managing and juggling the relationships I had with my children at home and being the head of household 2 different times, right? Managing all the different things. And it was difficult, to say the least. It was very difficult. So all that to say, it has helped to make me who I am today. And though it wasn't always easy, for sure. It was not always easy. And this is what my family looks like today. This is my husband, Jeff, my same 3 children who are kind of all grown now. And then my grandbabies, JP and Hattie, who are over a year old. Very hard to believe. Excited to see them this weekend for Easter. So happy Easter to everyone. This is Easter weekend, so I hope that you will be celebrating that with your family. Moving forward, in 2018 is when I decided to start my first business, which was Tiger Eye Solutions. So I did take a training program, earned a certification in my area of specialization, and started my business as a author assistant in the very beginning. However, as my business moved forward, I learned how important those relationships are in the professional world as well. So in 2020, I re-niched and started doing relationship management and follow-up. And then, of course, 2 months later is when the pandemic happened. And so I decided after the pandemic to build a team. So in 2021, I did build a team for Tiger Eye Solution. We currently have about 11 team members, and it could be growing just because the business is growing, which is a good thing. That's a good problem to have, right? So you like to learn anything or have questions about anything I've shared so far, I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. So reach out and let's schedule a coffee chat and get to know each other, right? All right, so we're going to dive into how to be a business system superhero, okay? We all have businesses. We all have specific systems that we may need to put in place for our specific business. Now, the systems that I use for my business may not be the best systems for you and your business, just because your business is different than mine. But let's dive in, okay? So today I want to talk about specifically how to be a business system superhero. When people hear business systems or project management, sometimes they may get overwhelmed or intimidated. So I want to break it down for you, okay? Don't get me wrong, there are professional project managers who have certifications in this, specialty area, etc. And they can do all the high complex problem solving, right? And the IT stuff and things like that. But most clients or most business owners, when they ask you to manage a project or ask you to help them manage a project, it's not that complex. Or if you're trying to manage a project yourself within your business, it's not going to be that complex, okay? Because most clients and business owners are working on their own, and they are professionals and business owners, of course. So you don't have to worry about, using those big phrases or worrying about those big complicated projects or business systems per se. So moving into a new system is just something that's going to be part of your world because you're a business owner and your business is going to grow and expand, just like mine is currently. And if you're just starting out, you will need to put some systems in place to support yourself in your business for sure. You may start out with small systems, and that's perfectly fine. What I did back in the beginning. However, my business has grown over time. We're getting ready to celebrate 6 years in July. So I've been in business for a while, and my business has grown. So there's different types of systems I am now trying to put into place to help me support the size of my business now versus it was very small in the beginning, right? So one thing about systems, let me give you an example. You can have a system to onboard a new client or customer, which could be as simple as a checklist. Make yourself a checklist just to make sure you complete each one of those tasks as you're bringing in a new client or customer. You could also have a system for how to manage your email, right? A lot of people's email inbox kind of gets overwhelming sometimes, or like we like to call it, a hot mess. And you may need to manage it and, organize it, etc. And that's a system as well. And what we're going to talk about today is how to move into a new process or a system. For example, for years, I was using Outlook. And a few years ago, I decided to move my email and everything over to Google Suite. And that was a big deal too. So, that was a project for me, but I did get everything over and I'm now using Google Suite instead of the Outlook. But it was just my stuff for me and it was manageable. The number one thing you need to do when considering a project such as this, if you need to make a commitment to the project itself, okay? So when you're adapting or setting up a new business system or process, you may want to make sure you're prepared, okay? Prepared to go the distance, because it is going to be a process, a step-by-step thing to get that process, that system or that process in place to where you're going to be ready to use it in your business, okay? Now, I want to explain what happens when you don't. When you don't make that commitment to the process of getting it all set up, okay? So just imagine, for example, you need a new calendar, okay? Or you need to set up your calendar if you haven't done so already. You have a paper calendar, you have maybe an Outlook calendar, and you want to move it over to a Google calendar, okay? So if you don't go 100% into this project, you'll have a mess on your hands for sure, okay? You will not know what to trust. Sorry. Oops. Let me get back to where I'm supposed to be. Sorry about that. You will not know what to trust. You will have to keep checking the old calendar, keep going back and forth, between your calendars, and that can be a headache, right? You don't want to have to do that. So it's really important that you go 100% into the process or into getting the new system set up, forever how long that takes, right? You could do it in a day, or it might take you a couple of days, to get the whole process set up and everything moved over, etc. Right? So same thing with a billing system. Let's say you're moving from PayPal invoicing to QuickBooks. Okay? A lot of people have done that. In the beginning, I used PayPal for invoicing. I'm no longer using PayPal. I have a CRM that has invoicing. So I use my CRM for invoicing. And, okay, so you're moving from PayPal over to QuickBooks or to another platform to do your invoicing, and you're not sure who is paying you which way. Now, this can really be confusing, and this is not something you want to be confused about, because you could lose money, right? Because invoicing is how you get paid, right? So, because you're not tracking it correctly. So make sure you set up a tracking system as well to make sure it's all getting tracked. John Smith is still paying through PayPal. He has not yet moved over to the QuickBooks or to whatever your new system is, okay? So you want to make sure you still can keep up with John Smith's payments through PayPal, but you got Sally Jones that's already moved over and she's paying through QuickBooks invoicing, okay? Make sure you keep track of that so your money's not falling through the cracks, right? Because invoicing is important. That's how you get paid. So it could turn into a disaster for sure, and that's not what you want, okay? And the thing is that you could really be putting a lot of work into it, and it only, you're only putting 90% of effort into it. But if you don't have the confidence that's accurate, it's like you didn't do it at all. And that's not what you want either, right? So don't set yourself up for a disaster. Make sure you're setting yourself up for success, right? When you're putting these systems into place, or when you're transferring from one system to another. Like if you're transferring from PayPal to QuickBooks or to another type of invoicing, okay? So let me know if this resonates with you, or if you can relate to this, setting up new systems or processes in your business, or moving from one system to another. So let me know if this, you can relate to this. And you can also, if you just start dabbling with it and it feels uncomfortable and you don't see it all the way through, that can become an issue too, right? If you keep using both PayPal and QuickBooks for your invoicing, you don't want to do that, okay? So if you make that decision to move from one platform to another, you have to move completely, okay? If John Smith is still paying you through PayPal, you have to contact him and say, look, we're moving to a new system of invoicing. I need you to pay me through QuickBooks or whatever your new system is. Okay. So let's talk about ways to be a superhero. Here are some things you need to consider. As I said, you need to commit. Definitely make sure you make that commitment. You need to commit in a couple of different ways. Okay. Number one, if you're moving to a new system like Google, you want to do the research and then stop thinking there may be a better solution, because there's a million of solutions out there. Okay. But if you've made that decision to move from Outlook to Google, then that's your decision. That's where you're going. Okay. So try to make it as simple as possible. Don't make it harder on yourself than it has to be. Okay. So you need to decide to stop thinking about it. Stop overthinking about it, because I know some of you may do that as well. And just do it. And don't worry about the other solutions that may be out there. Okay. Once you've made your decision. And again, second guessing is a total waste of time. Let me repeat that. Second guessing yourself or the system is a total waste of time. Okay. And it's hands down your process. Okay. And your progress too, right? So once you made that commitment and that decision, lean into it and get started. Just get started. Okay. Next, you should sketch out the whole project. Okay. So for example, let's use moving from one calendar to another. You can go through your last year's calendar, or you can go forward for the next year. Okay. And what you want to do is move all your current appointments. And you also want to move your reoccurring appointments. Like if you have a reoccurring meeting with a client or a customer, make sure you put that in the new calendar as well. So you will need to look over the whole year, your past year, as to what appointments you have, what appointments you have coming up, what reoccurring appointments you have, all that, and put it into the new one. Okay. Birthdays or, certain bills that are due, on certain days, that kind of stuff. You can put that on the calendar too. That way you don't forget it. You definitely want to make sure you're paying those bills, right? So, just regular information that you keep on your calendar. Make sure you move all that over. And make a list of these things on your sketch when you're sketching out your plan, okay? So just make sure you have everything at your fingertips, right? Don't make it a struggle. Don't overthink it. Don't make it more work than what it actually is. All those things. The next thing you want to do is make time for the move. Okay. And for some people, you may want to set aside an entire day or a couple of days, right? And if not, you may end up wasting more time more than a day, going back and forth. And you don't want to do that either. That can be overwhelming as well. So the other thing to do is stay clear of later. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that. Because what happens is we don't go back and we make a mess out of things. Okay, if you're going from one calendar to another, you want to do it all at one time. Don't go back and forth, or don't say, okay, I got this much done today. I'll go back Friday or next week and do the rest. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because it can be a great big mess. It can get very overwhelming. And yeah, a lot of things could end up falling through the cracks. So you don't want to do that, okay? So don't go back and forth. Don't put any of it off. Like I said, if you do part of it today and you put it off till next week, don't do that, okay? You need to be thorough and 100% into it at that given time, okay? And make sure that everything that has to happen can happen, okay? Whatever you need to transfer over from one place to the other, make sure it can happen at that given time, okay? Tell me some of your systems that you may have moved into or may have set up for your business. I have moved into Google Workspace. I have a CRM, Honeybook that I use, and I have clean data that is imported. Parts of a project, like this as well. So let me know. Tell me in the comments. So what are some of your systems that you currently use, or that you have switched from one to another as your business has grown? Let me know some of the systems that you use, okay, that help support you and your business, because sometimes we need support. And when we move into a new system, if I can support you in any way and helping you get your systems put into place, or help you move from one or the other. If you have any questions about anything I shared today, please put that in the comments as well. I also want to let you know that next week, I know some of you follow me on a regular basis, then I do Tuesday tips. There will not be a Tuesday tips next week. I'm going to be out of town, but however, there will be a weekly live next Friday. I will be back for a weekly live next Friday. I also want to invite you, if you're not already part of the VIP club. The Relationship Communications has a VIP club. It's a lot of fun. Myself and the members that are already in there is having a whole lot of fun with it. We meet twice a month. The first time we meet is a Q&A session. You can bring any questions you have around the professional space, or about your business, whatever kind of questions you may have, you can bring that to that meeting, and we'll answer your questions. Not just me, but everyone in attendance at that meeting will help get you answers to your questions. The second time we meet every month is more like a party, and we celebrate our accomplishments, which is awesome. And we have a lot of fun with that. Now, this is a paid club to be a part of. However, I do have a special going on currently, to where you can become a member for just $17 for your first 3 months. Okay. I have emails going out about that, or I can share that with you. If you want to comment or reach out to me privately, I can share that information with you, where you can get signed up for just $17 currently. Okay. It's a spring special, since we are getting into the spring season, and you can sign up now for $17. And it'll be $17 for your first 3 months. Now, the regular price of the VIP club is $27 a month. But for your first 3 months, you can get in there for $17 a month. So if you want more information on how to sign up for that, please let me know. I'll be happy to share that. And I can also post about that in the Facebook group. So you can look for it there as well. And the doors are closing on the Academy. So if you are interested in joining the Networking Method Academy and start making the most of your networking efforts, please reach out, because the doors are getting ready to close on the Academy for now, and it'll be another couple of months before they open back up. So if you want more information about the Academy, please let me know about that as well. I'll also post about that in the group. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Again, happy Easter, and we'll see you again soon.